Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the Puritan and we really only have about 3 monologues to go. We're going to get to hear from Sir Oliver Muck-hill today in Act 5, Scene 3. Now remember, Muck-hill is one of the suitors who has been passed over because as all of Piebord's trickeries and fakeries have shaken out the way that they're supposed to, Lady Plus has decided that she wants to marry Captain Idle, and Frances has decided that she wants to marry Piebord, and Moll still has her eye on Penny Dub, but she's not supposed to get married at all. But this means that Oliver Muck-hill and Sir Andrew Tipstaff are upset that they are not getting to marry these ladies. But before we get there, we're in Act 5, Scene 3 today, and we just finished Act 5, Scene 1 yesterday. So yesterday, Act 5, Scene 1, it's wedding day and everybody's getting ready for it, running around. We had Edmund telling Frailty to go get the stuff so that they'd be all prepared, and he's like, are the brides ready, and all of that sort of. So the rest of Act 5 takes place on that same day, but we have this sort of excited energy about things. And in Act 5, Scene 2, we have Sir Penny Dub visiting Moll. And I'm picturing almost like a recreation of the balcony scene where he's standing outside and she's, up in her bedroom and he's calling to her like, let me come up, let me come up. And she's like, no, I'm keeping you down because once you let a man come up, then you can't trust him anymore. And yes, the scene is very, very full of sexual innuendo. 9 times out of 10, when it looks like it's sexual innuendo, it is sexual innuendo. So it's a very charged scene. But remember, they had decided that they were going to get married sort of no matter what, because they had been sort of fantasizing about what sort of life they would have as a married couple. And she's like, you know what? I don't care if I am stricken mute and my sister and mother run naked through the streets. I'm going to get married to you anyway. So they have this little back and forth about how he wants to come up and visit her, and she's like, not right now, but she's like, the priest is gone ahead. We're supposed to get married now too. The priest has gone ahead. Why don't you follow him and I'll be right behind you? And that's Act 5, Scene 2. Very short, but very full of innuendo. Act 5, Scene 3, we have Sir Oliver Muck-hill, Sir Andrew Tipstaff, who I've already mentioned, are both angry that they are not getting to get married right now. And we also have Skirmish, who, remember, was in on Piebord's plots. He and Oath were supposed to stage a fight in the street, and Skirmish injured Oath, who then took a sleeping draft, and then Piebord woke him up. But this means that Skirmish had been arrested and put in prison, and he was on his way to be executed, which was a lot. So he decided that he would tell Tipstaff and Muck-hill about Piebord's plans, about his trickeries, his forgeries, his schemes. And he has apparently done so before the scene starts, because Tipstaff and Muck-hill are both like, really? Like, who would be so villainous? That's terrible. Are you sure that what you're saying is true? And Skirmish is like, yeah, absolutely true. They used us like puppets to figure all this out, and this stuff needs to come to light. And Sir Oliver Muck-hill says, "'Tis too true. Yet, if the widow be not too much besotted on slights and forgeries, the revelation of their villainies will make 'em loathsome. And to that end, be it in private to you, I sent late last night to an honorable personage, to whom I am much indebted in kindness, as he is to me, and therefore presume upon the payment of his tongue, that he will lay out good words for me, and to speak truth, for such needful occasions, I only preserve him in bond, and sometimes he may do me more good here in the city by a free word of his mouth than if he had paid one half in hand and took doomsday for the other." So what he's saying here is, yes, we need to share the truth, but it might be more effective if somebody who isn't us shares the truth about their trickeries, their pranks, their forgeries. And to that end, he had written to a friend of his who's a very noble person who's supposed to be coming by, and he's like, this guy and I, we owe each other favors, but we also do each other favors, and sometimes he does me more good than I owe him, but all of this, he's like, it's good. He'll come and he can share the truth of what has happened here, and we're not really going to owe him anything. It's just going to be like a matter of us doing favors back and forth for each other, which we've already been doing because we're friends and he's honorable. So the other ones are like, yes, this sounds like a good idea. This will be more effective if a stranger just crashes the wedding weddings and spills the beans that Pieboard and Idle are tricksters, and this is going to make the women hate them, and they're going to be loathsome to the women, and then we might be able to swoop in and get married to them. So they're all on board that this is a good plan. And then a servant comes in and tells Muck-hill that his noble gentleman is arriving. They're like, okay, let's go meet him. So they do, and that's the end of Act 5, Scene 3. So we just have Act 5, Scene 4 to go, and wouldn't you think that since all the trickeries were wrapped up by the end of Act 4, that we might be close to the end? But this is a play of no good deed going unpunished and no bad deed also going unpunished. So we got to get through one more scene, 2 more monologues to see how everything is going to shake out. Who is actually going to get married by the end of this play? I'll see you tomorrow and we'll figure it out. Mwah.